Morning, folks. It's the middle of February, and Mother Nature and all her grace has decided to bless us with a little bit of warm weather. And I've come out to have a look at the tent and the boat shed and see what kind of damage she's caused over the winter. So we're going to try and squeeze our way in and see what's going on. That's going to be a bit of a tight fit. We're in. The roof is still up. The boat's still here. The floor's a little wet from all the melting that's going on. It's going to be a pretty intense spring cleanup this year, I think. Here we have the remains of some sort of critter that died in here. I know there's been at least one cat in the neighborhood who's been living in here. And, this is where he or she gets in and out of the shed. Take a look around. There's a little bit of frost and ice on the ground still. But again, it's only the middle of February, and I don't think Mother Nature's quite done with us yet. Tool benches to be cleaned up. There's my little hoard of copper. You'll see that a little later this year. Get melted down. Let's look up this side of the boat. As you can see, we put a tarp over top to try and keep as much water out of the shed as possible, but there was still some got in, I'm sure. We'll go up on top of the boat next. One of the problems you have when you build on dirt is the ground heaves up from the frost, and this is probably the worst I've ever seen it. I'm going to replace all of that stuff this year. Oh yeah, there's my workbench. Didn't look like that 12 years ago. Let's see if I get a shot on that side. The new plastic held up really well around here. And I'll just go up on the boat. Oh yeah. Any flat surface is a tool bench. And that's going to take some cleaning up to do. I know I had some water up here dripping on the table. It's not good. Here we are in the main cabin, and the plastic doors didn't stand up too well. Plastic windows. Seems pretty dry in here. I don't see too much going on. See if we can get a look down below. Organized tools. I'll never find anything now. But yeah, everything seems dry, which is like the first year ever. It's going to be a massive cleanup. We're supposed to hit 10 degrees Celsius today, which is about 50 Fahrenheit. And in the boat shed right now, it's about 6 Celsius, 42, 43 degrees. That's not bad. So actually it wasn't too bad this year. It's probably one of the better years when I first come in the shed. I'm going to turn around, go back out the door, and have a look at our little tent workshop. I was able to get in the tent here about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was right after a major storm that had blown a tremendous amount of snow inside the tent. Everything was covered. I had to come out and cover all my tools with plastic to try and keep the moisture off them. A lot of them I sprayed down with silicone lubricant to hopefully not ruin everything. But papers were wet, the floor was wet, there was a foot of snow in here, and it all came in through the corners down here where the red bucket is, and on the other side. Yeah, we had some pretty high winds, 70-80 kilometers an hour, that just blew it all in here, so it did cause quite a mess. And I had a big problem with condensation on the ceiling of the tent. It seems to be drying out fairly well right now, and that's good. I haven't put any heat on in here yet, but I will eventually. There was a lot of snow up against the side of the tent, come off the patio roof, which worried me a bit, but it seems like the shelter dealt with that pretty well. So we'll see what temperature it gets up to. One of the things I did a few weeks ago when it was really damp in here is I put in this little 4-inch electric fan because there's no ventilation in the far wall and there's no ventilation above the door, which is something that I will add this year. I'll hopefully keep the moisture down. Sorry, I just want to take a picture of that number. This is the end of the shed with the zip-up door, and I'm thinking of buying another one to go on that end. So in the summertime when it's really hot, we'll have some ventilation. So there's the snow that piled up against the side of the tent that came off the steel roof of the patio. I guess I'll have to put something up there to prevent the snow from sliding down. But it looks like the tent survives pretty well. It'll need to be tightened up in the spring, but overall I think we did pretty good. This side's pretty good. Peak's not doing too bad. The snow was probably about 4 or 5 feet higher on the side of the shed most of the winter, but we've lost a lot in the last week and we're going to lose a lot more. Yeah, it's starting to rain right now, so I'm going to head in. There you have it, folks. We actually survived pretty well this winter. It's a lot less damage than I thought there was going to be. The old boat shed held up pretty well.